all packed, ready to go. And leave no trace. Well, just the grass is a little bit flattened. And one more gaze at the view for me. So late last night, I got all the way over to there, where it kind of dips, and it's a bit of a beach down there, hoping I might find something in terms of a wild camping spot. And then I decided I didn't want to get any closer to the houses over there, so I came back, went up there. So on the map, this was the place that I considered and might be able to get some wild camp from. Particularly on the map, it kind of looks like obviously this dip here. There's a bit of flat ground up there, but as you can see, it's well overgrown. Not a chance in hell. That's why I decided, having got down here, I had to go all the way back up. And this is where Henry Tudor landed. And Henry was later to become the first Tudor king. So he started the Tudor dynasty. Yeah, and he landed in August, I can't remember the exact date, but beginning of August. 4,000 men from France. And then over to Bosworth, where he had a battle with, I think it was Richard III, towards the end of August. I think where I'm standing now to where Bosworth is, that's quite a mark. He would have gone that way, maybe. Oh, I wonder if you could get up that valley originally. I bet you could with 4,000 men. Right, I'm going the opposite direction. I'm not heading east. I'm not going to battle either. I'm going to see the lighthouse. I've actually found a big old stone with the same information on it. In fact, I shall just read it to you. Henry Tudor, Earl of Richmond, landed at Mill Bay on the 7th of August 1485. 55 ships and 5,000 men. Travelled through West Wales, gathering support, then going east. 22nd of August 1485, Henry defeated Richard III at the Battle of Bosworth and became King Henry VII. There you go. A big lump of stone. Interesting plaque on it. So as you can see, I'm right at the end point now, kind of possibly as far west as you can get, and yeah, in a dim distance I can see where I've come from, the old refinery. Not a particularly tall lighthouse, and obviously things are still going on there, unlike a lot of lighthouses these days. I suppose it didn't have to be too tall given how high above the water we are. I don't know what that is. There's another tower as well. I've got to show you this. And I don't mean the lighthouse, but I mean this hollow in the ground here. Just in the cliff edge. It's a perfect wild camping spot. It looks like it must have been a quarry at some point. In fact, I do recall it being a quarry being marked on the map, so yeah. But I'd only known that probably only another couple of miles from where I'd got to. Darn. Right, I'm having a race with a yacht out there in the ocean. It's definitely winning. I was nearly catching up until I stopped. So I'm trying to work out where I'm going, and I think I've planned like another 20-mile trip. Hopefully I'll manage it. It depends on the ups and downs. But the first place I'll hit that I may stay at is a place called Little Haven. And then half a mile further down is Broadhaven. Right, onward. Less talking, more walking. So here you go, a water trough. Now I wouldn't necessarily, obviously, consider drinking any of that, but how do they get refilled? Well, yeah, just like the toilet at home. And if I push that down, you can see the water coming out there. So if you're really desperate, you could get fresh water from there. I'm fairly certain it is fresh because there's the water supplies there. So something to consider. I would still filter it personally, but you don't necessarily have to. Actually, that reminds me, on this coastal path I haven't had to worry about water. There are sufficient toilets and there's not such a big distance between them, so I've been able to fill up every time. As it happens, I'm down to one bottle now, but I do believe I can almost see where I think the next set of toilets are. So yeah, I haven't been that desperate yet, but we shall see what happens in time. So that's the shortcut from Dale. So if you came from Dale to directly here, it's about 1k. Whereas if you walk round the complete headland like we have, then it's 9k. So yeah, you could save yourself about 8k. So this is Westdale Beach. Oh, I love the pink houses in the distance. What a superb view they must have. And this is the view from the pink houses. So this here is an old runway. Yep, there used to be a airstrip here. You didn't have much time to, before you had to make sure your wheels were off the ground. Well, it's called Deer Park. Apparently, it's Welsh black cattle that are grazing. And Suslaw, the national trail, is pointing in the direction of the black cattle. Apparently they're calm as long as you're quiet. So one of the things I promised I would talk about yesterday was my thoughts and feelings on getting through all the kind of industrial architecture. And I kind of wanted to put it off because my initial reaction, I wanted to make sure I was happy with it. And I think I am. From Angle Bay right round to kind of, I think, Sandy Haven, it's about 28 miles, and those 28 miles are not worth the investment of effort that you need to make. There's a reasonable amount of bushwhacking, and then obviously you're walking through streets as well. And in fact, I'd met a hiker coming the other way, and he said he was fairly local. He was doing the full coastal path, and he said he'd actually caught a bus to miss that particular part of the hike out. And it is a real shame that that 28 miles is so bad, but honestly, I would not invest my time in it if I had my time again. The only but situation for me is that I did enjoy going into Pembroke, and so if I was getting the bus, I'd probably get the bus from Angle Bay to Pembroke in my instance, if it was going south to north. And then Milford Haven actually surprised me, and all my other people have said to me, oh, that place is not very nice. But the marina there and the way it's been done up as a town, I think a lot of money's been invested, particularly around that part. I would definitely visit that again and have coffee and cake again as well. Yeah, so take the bus, maybe stop at one or two places, but it's kind of chalk and cheese. I mean, it almost isn't Pembrokeshire coastal path at that particular point. So, a bit of a shame, but that's my recommendation. So all I can find out about this is it's actually a sculpture. So the Eye of the Sea. There we go, we can see our target now. Porth Haven in the middle. Just over to the right, Little Haven. We've yet to land on where I'm exactly going, but it certainly will be somewhere over there. So goodbye Porth Haven. I've managed to fuel up on fish and chips. There's a pint of shandy. And there's a laundress here as well, so I've managed to do a bit of a resupply. So I'm going on to the headland now, and hopefully spend the next mile or two, hour or two, trying to find a wild camping spot. Wish me luck. There you go, we started at Dale, and then we've gone round the head, over to Martin's Haven, and then, yeah, along this coastal path here, to Little Haven, then Porth Haven, where I had fish and chips, and then I'm about a mile out, so I'm just probably at the edge of the page. So yeah, that was quite a chunk. So whilst I'm enjoying the sun at this time of year, the only problem is with waiting for darkness. It's possibly, given where I am, like I say, only a mile away from like an urban area, I'm not sure I want to put the tent up just yet. I just want to see if it gets busy or people come around. I've probably been waiting now half an hour or so, and I've not seen anyone. Other than that, I think possibly there's another camper over that way doing exactly the same. It looks like they're waiting as well. But yeah, so if you're wild camping and you're not sure, always an idea. Just sit, chill, catch up with yourself, see where you're going for the next day, do a bit of planning, and yeah, don't see anyone for an hour or so. I would say you're pretty safe. Anyhow, that's the theory, and it's worked so far for me. So when I look into the distance, I can't believe I'm actually setting out to walk all along this coastline. to get to the very far distance, right to the edge there. On paper, that's my theoretical destination. Looks an awful long way, but it is about 20 miles. And at the far end, just a mile inland, is St. David's. The city of St. David's, which I believe is one of the smallest in the country, if not maybe the smallest. So this viewing point is in memory of Porth Claris, who helped to establish the Pembrokeshire coast path in the 1960s and was the first warden. Thank you, Paul. Now, quite often on these walks we see benches, and this block of wood is common to what you see, so there's quite a few of them around. I think it's just so simple and honest in a way, and it serves just the same purpose and probably lasts a lot longer, I would imagine. And quite often they are dedicated as well to individuals. So this one is to dear Grandad John. So this seems to be some kind of memory viewpoint. As an example, in memory of John Davis, who loved diving in Pembrokeshire. You can see the stacks from here, John, and that's from the Sub-Agua Club. This one for John Matthews. He was passionate about his family, Welsh rugby, and this view. Hope you enjoy it as much as he did. That's a place called Norton Haven, and it looks like the whole family is going for a swim at 20 past 8 in the morning. Whoa! Well done then. So this is Newgale Beach. I was asked some while ago, did I take specific breaks, like every 3 hours or so? And my answer is no, because I just take it as it comes. I mean, I've probably been walking just a couple of hours now and came to this vast expanse of a beach with hardly anybody on it. And yeah, I just decided that I would sit here and chill. No, I don't take my breaks at a set time. I just let life happen. Right, I'm going to carry on enjoying my coconut macaroon, I think it is. See you later. So I just managed to get a cheeky shandy from the pub in Silva, and I thought this was a relatively small place, but it's very busy there. Across the water you can see the old lime kilns. And then the marina. And interestingly, in 1840, you could catch a boat to America. Cost you £4. Wonder what that is in today's terms. Evening folks. So today I managed to walk 17.5 miles and it was tough. A bit up and down, but the real challenge was the heat. And it gets worse tomorrow. I believe tomorrow it's 23 and the day after is 25. So I'm thinking I might curtail the distances I'm trying to cover. So yeah, I was coming along this track, having just watched a few people down there on the quayside. I was walking along, and round about here, a local said to me, "Are you looking for a campsite?" I said, "Yeah, actually I could do with one." And he said, "Well, just go through this hedge here." I'm like, looking at it, thinking that looks strange. I said, "Yeah, just go through and head over to the corner where the farmyard is and you'll be able to book yourself in." So Julie said, I went through the hedge and the campsite cost £8.